Rachel Darling. Me and my bedhead are here back to talk about my BMI challenge. I'm sick. I was getting sick yesterday. I'm definitely sick today. I can't do anything. And it's so gloomy outside, which is kind of perfect because it makes it perfect for napping and everything else. But I'm showing up here anyway because I said I would do it every day for 60 days, and so here I am. And today I think it makes sense for me to talk about self-care. Self-care is a term that is a little overused and kind of problematic, because it's sort of, I don't know, it's difficult to say to like a single mom with an infant, you should be practicing better self-care, because that's not somebody who has the time or the bandwidth to even, that's not somebody who has the time to go potty or take a shower, let alone practice self-care or retail therapy or these kinds of things that are sometimes associated with mainstream ideas of what self-care is like. So I don't love the term, but I love the concept. And I'm going to tell you why. So for me, self-care does not necessarily mean, I love the idea of treating yourself, and I think it's really important to indulge in ways that make you feel special. But for me, self-care is more about getting to where you want to get by making sure that the path that you're laying out for yourself includes kindness and gentleness and encouragements for yourself, because as much as you might know a lot of people who can get things done by yelling at themselves inside, right? Or like pushing themselves in ways that are clearly mean. People who like boot camps, and you might be one of those people. But what I'm saying is that there's an element missing. Even if you are a boot camp person, you still have to have this kind of inner kindness. Let me tell you why. So whenever we define an objective for ourselves, like something we want to achieve, there's always a procedure that follows. And that procedure is made up of, kind of the steps that get you there. And those steps are logistical, and they're also like the framework around logistics. So for example, if my objective is to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, logistically, I'm gonna take bread, I'm gonna put peanut butter on it, I'm gonna put jelly on it, and put another piece of bread, maybe I'll cut it in half, boom. But there's also like a structure around that. There's the presumption that you know how to get the bread, you have the peanut butter or whatever. And there's also the presumption that you already have the skills, maybe you have a kitchen, you have a clean place where that happens, and that you have the kind of physical abilities necessary to spread peanut butter and jelly. That's kind of the framework that's invisible that we take for granted. What I'm saying is, if you're setting out an objective for yourself that is like, I'm going to get healthier, or like me, I'm going to get to a healthy BMI, and I'm going to see if that affects my health in a positive way, that objective has a procedure. In my case, it's about eating a plant-based diet, tracking everything I'm eating, working out at least 3 times a week, getting a certain number of steps every day, eating clean, never eating preservatives or refined sugars or anything. Those are the kind of steps each day, and there's a routine each day. But the foundation that surrounds that allows me to even start to do that, right, has to include a certain amount of sense that I'm worth doing that, right? Like that that this hard work is worth doing because I'm a worthwhile person. Some of us have that sense really strongly inside of ourselves, but most of us need some amount of encouragement to say, I'm worth doing this for, to overcome like past kind of maybe failures in terms of achieving that particular objective, whatever the objective is. And we need to, that's where self-care comes into play, because you have to identify, each of us has to identify those things that are going to, those ways that we're going to behave or treat ourselves that are going to encourage the sense that we're worthwhile. So for me today, since I'm sick as a, are dogs sick? Why is that saying exist? Sick as a dog. I wonder what that's. Comment if you happen to know the origin of sick as a dog, but I am sick as a dog. Anyway, what I need to do is, I don't really need to worry about, I'm going to eat a plant-based diet because that's what I eat. I'm going to track my little points and stuff. I'm not going to stop doing those things. What I'm also going to do is be kind to myself. Make myself a little bed on the couch, watch a movie, take care of myself, because the act of taking care of myself is going to reinforce to myself on a kind of foundational level that I'm a worthwhile person and I'm worth moving towards goals that I believe in. This general principle, I think, applies to basically any objective and any procedure that you put into place in your life. If your objective is to get a promotion at your work, you know what the procedure might be. You have some ideas about the steps for that, like being conscientious, following through with everything, with your job requirements, maybe going a little bit above, maybe working on the political dimension of, how to talk to your supervisor or indicate your desire to take on more responsibility. You know the procedural stuff. But the foundation of even being able to think, I can go for this promotion, and the foundation of having kind of the energy to do it and the authenticity necessary maybe to make it happen, that comes from the self-care that is being encouraging to yourself, that is taking care of your health and your well-being, and creating this foundation from which you can work by paying good attention to yourself as you would a child you were trying to encourage to be self-confident, or anyone who you love, who is trying to hit a goal that's a little bit outside of what they can do. You would be somebody who would lift them up, and you need to be that for yourself, and that's how that strong foundation is formed. So those are my thoughts for today, my philosophy of self-care. I'm interested in hearing yours too. Subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button, that does help me out, because right now I have 1 subscriber and I'd like to have more. And I'd like to be able to have support to keep moving in this direction. And it would support me a lot to know that this work is valuable to you too. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully tomorrow I won't be like, in the throes of whatever this virus is. And I hope you all stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.